But I can tell you that we are all seized. I certainly hope that we're all seized with the overwhelming priorities of the people of Ontario. They're telling us, strengthen our economy, find ways to protect these jobs and create more jobs, protect our health care and protect our schools. That's a responsibility that we've been given. That's the one that we gratefully assume. Thank you. Now, I accept our 53 seats. We didn't get 54, we didn't get 52, we ended up with 50. I accept that, honored by that investment of trust in our government, and we will make the very best of that. So we're putting forward some candidates for speakership, for example. I leave it to the opposition parties as whether or not they want to involve themselves in that democratic exercise. If they do, great. If they don't, well, that's a decision of their own making.
With 19 fewer seats than you had a dissolution, you're going to how much smaller do you want the cabinet to be? I mean, you said you want the cabinet to be focused on jobs and the economy. Presumably, it's not going to be as frivolous a cabinet maybe as you had before. How much smaller will it be?
Well, I'm not sure I agree with the characterization.
Voters said 4 of them packing, so.
But there will be a smaller cabinet, and it will be more focused on I guess, a more refined agenda, which is going to be, of course, jobs, the economy, protecting our schools, and our health care.
How much smaller, though? How many?
We'll just have to wait and see.
Mr. Horvath's already accusing you of already behaving as if nothing changed on election night, as if you have a majority. How do you respond to that?
Well, again, there'll be all kinds of opportunities for Ms. Horvath and Mr. Hudak to help lend shape to a positive, forward-moving agenda. And I think in particular the relationship between our House leaders becomes very important. I know it's relatively new to us here in Ontario, and I didn't get to enjoy the experience of minority government either as an observer or as a participant. So I was elected in 1990. Bob Ray had a healthy majority. Kerr's had a healthy majority. I've had 2 healthy majorities. But it's not at all unusual in parliamentary democracies for there to be minority governments from time to time. So there's all kinds of precedents upon which we can draw in order to ensure that we are in fact giving expression to the will of Ontarians. And the relationship between the House leaders in particular, I think, is going to be very important. And I want to commend Ms. Horvath on her choice of Gilles Bisson. He's an experienced guy. I think he brings the right disposition. I think we're going to be able to work well with him.
But the House seems a bit arcane for most average people. How are you going to do things differently now that you have a different mandate?
Well, you know what? We'll work it out day to day, likely on an issue-by-issue basis. But remember, we're the centrist party. We're the party in the middle. Unlike the experience that prevailed in Ottawa for some time, we're actually in the middle. And on many occasions in the past, we have found common ground with the NDP and with the PCs. And I'm convinced that we'll be able to find a way to move forward an agenda that is supported by the people of Ontario.
Delivering this economic update, and will it include the cost to Ontario of cancelling the Mississauga South gas plant?
The fall economic statement will be something that will be delivered by Minister Duncan at the earliest possible opportunity. That's the reason why I want to swear in the cabinet a week from today. I just think we need to convey to Ontarians that we are in fact seized with a big responsibility of strengthening our economy, staying alert to the evolution of the global economy, and doing what we can to both protect and create jobs in Ontario. A setting, obviously, again, I think those kinds of discussions are better held by our House leaders. But what I can say is that I do know that families are concerned about household costs, and we put forward a couple of, I think, very solid ideas that not only help us with our household costs, but help us lay a foundation for stronger economic growth. So when we help seniors make renovations to their homes and provide them with a healthy home renovation tax credit, that not only is good for our parents and grandparents in their homes, but it'll spur on local economies and people who are involved in the renovation sector and the manufacturing sector. At the same time, when we provide support to families with our new tuition grant, cutting the price of tuition by 30%, again, that's very important, not only to that family, but again, it lays the foundation for a stronger economy because we're building a stronger workforce. So we're looking for the sweet spot, right, where we can do something for families that at the same time strengthens our economy.
Depending on what the economic update says, does that mean that some of the promises made during the campaign might not go through? For example, what you just mentioned, the rental tax, credit, the tuition cut?
No,
Are those?
no, we've been doing some preliminary work and understanding what's going on out there and in terms of the consequences that has on our economic growth in here. And you will recall, you may recall, hopefully recall, that we had a platform with fuel commitments, 1/5 the number of the PCs, 1/3 the number of the NTP. It was also by far the least expensive plan. And we built in $1.7 billion in annual prudence. So we will be able to deliver on this.
The cost of the gas plant, when
will.
might we learn the cost of that gas plant?
Well, you know, again, it's a subject of ongoing conversation. We said that should we earn the privilege of serving Ontarians once again as a government, that we would enter in earnest into conversations with the proponent. And that is what we are doing at
So
present.
is there a time frame of any kind on that?
Well, the conversation is ongoing.
So you say nothing at all is in jeopardy because of the economic situation?
We're convinced on the basis of the prudence that we've built into our plan that we can in fact deliver. Yeah.
Last question.
Sorry?
When will you be?
Haven't said that to you just yet.
But we're going to go to a private company for that announcement too?
Would there be more minority in the cabinet?
Sorry?
Would there be more minority in the cabinet?
Sorry?
More minority in your cabinet?
Yeah, we have a smaller cabinet, but if you're asking me if there are going to be opposition parties sitting in the cabinet, no.
More
Minority.
ethnic.
Oh, I see. We'll have to wait and see. I've always prided ourselves on having both a caucus and a cabinet that makes a real effort to reflect Ontario. Looking good? That's exciting. You guys are exciting stuff here, so we should be talking about it. Now, who are the people working this down?
Veronica here. Me?
Keep growing. More jobs, more technology, more solutions. Thanks, guys. Pleasure, thank you.